Hello everyone, welcome to EduTap and welcome to today's Finance 360-degree session where we are going to discuss three very important news articles, okay? And they are important from your objective point of view for the phase 1 of the RBI Grade A or RBI Grade B examination or the phase 2 of the RBI Grade A or RBI Grade B examination, okay? So for the exam, for the phase 1 and phase 2, these news articles are very important from the objective point of view as well as in regards to the gross NPAs, we will also discuss some descriptive points, okay? That will be important from your examination point of view. So the first news article is about SEBI that has launched the unified compliance platform. The second news article is regarding the SEBI that has renewed the recognition as recognition for the MCXCCLs as the clearing corporation, and the third news article is regarding the gross NPAs that have reduced in the past 5 years. So we are going to discuss that what steps have been taken to actually reduce this gross NPAs by the RBI and by the government. Okay, so let's get started. First of all, give me a thumbs up if I'm clearly audible and visible, and this session is going to be important for all of you from the understanding point of view as well as from the direct objective questions point of view. Okay, so good morning everyone, good morning and welcome to the session. So let's get started, but before that, do subscribe to the YouTube channel of EduTap so that you continue getting these relevant videos, and do join our Telegram channel where you will get the PDF of the session, and the link for the Telegram channel is provided in the description box below. Okay, so let's get started with the first news article, that is Samuhik Prativedan Manch for the stockbrokers has been launched by the SEBI. So SEBI encourages a regulatory framework that is simple, that is transparent and effective, so that there is ease of business, ease of doing business for the intermediaries, for the stockbrokers, for the clearing corporations or for the clearing members as well as for the depositories and such. Okay, so SEBI encourages a regulatory framework that is simple, transparent and cost effective, resulting in the ease of doing business for the intermediaries, for the stock exchanges and such, and in turn ease of doing investment for the investors, because the easier the terms and conditions are in the market, it is easier for the intermediaries, and if the compliance is easier for the intermediaries, it is also beneficial for the investors. Okay, so streamlining and rationalizing the compliance reporting, this is a key measure for achieving the ease of doing business, and for this the Samuhik Prativedan Manch has been launched. So SEBI and the stock exchanges have now introduced a technology-based common reporting mechanism. So there is going to be a common reporting mechanism, that is Samuhik Prativedan Manch, offered by the National Stock Exchange for the stock brokers to submit their compliance reports. Okay, so this step has been taken, or this Samuhik Prativedan Manch has been launched by SEBI and the stock exchanges, and it is basically offered by the National Stock Exchange. This is the Samuhik Prativedan Manch that is going to make the life of the stockbrokers very easy, and the compliance reporting that is done by the stock brokers, it is going to be very easy with the help of the Samuhik Prativedan Manch. Okay, so stockbrokers who are registered with multiple stock exchanges, they are currently required to submit the compliance reports at all the exchanges separately. So they have to provide the compliance reports through the different exchanges through the different methods and timelines and such, okay, with which they are registered. Now they will now be able to submit compliance report to the Samuhik Prativedan Manch at one exchange instead of multiple exchanges. So that means only at one time they have to submit all the compliance reports, and through one means only, that is the Samuhik Prativedan Manch. Okay, so Samuhik Prativedan Manch will eliminate the requirement to submit multiple compliance reports to multiple stock exchanges where a stockbroker is registered. This is expected to substantially reduce the stockbrokers compliance cost. Okay, the mechanism would be implemented in a phased manner, and the first phase will be launched from August 1, 2025, and in the first phase there will be 40 compliance reports that can be submitted through the Samuhik Prativedan Manch. Okay, so in the first phase 40 compliance reports can be submitted. Okay, so as a result, close to 1,000 stockbrokers, approximately 990 stockbrokers who have multiple membership with the NSE as well as with the other stock exchanges, they would be able to benefit from this initiative, and they would be able to provide the compliance reports to the stock exchanges through this one platform. Okay, now the later phases, that is, this is the first phase that is going to be launched from August 1, 2025. Now in the later phases, this will standardize the remainder of the document submissions, the compliance report submissions, and encompass them in the centralized reporting platform. So there will be a centralized reporting platform that is created across the remainder of the brokers, including the commodity brokers. So they will also be able to provide their compliance reports through this one platform. So easy, directly the data that you have to remember is that the SEBI has launched with the stockbrokers the Samuhik Prativedan Manch that is offered by NSE. So it is mainly offered by National Stock Exchange. Okay. The first phase is going to start from August 1, 2025, in which 40 compliance reports can be submitted through this Samuhik Prativedan Manch, as well as close to 1,000 brokers who have multiple membership. They will be able to benefit from this initiative, and the later on phases will add on more compliance reports through this one platform. So this is the overall idea of this news article. Any confusion, anyone in the first one? सो बेसिकली सेबी ने ना सामूहिक प्रतिवेदन मंच जो है एक प्लेटफॉर्म लॉन्च किया है जिसके थ्रू स्टॉक ब्रोकर जो है अपना जो भी कंप्लायंस रिपोर्ट्स हैं उनको सबमिट कर पाएंगे। ये फर्स्ट फेज जो है 1 अगस्त 2025 से स्टार्ट हो रहा है, जिसमें 40 कंप्लायंस रिपोर्ट जो है सबमिट हो सकते हैं इस एक मंच, इस एक प्लेटफॉर्म के थ्रू। ओके, दैट इज द बेसिक आइडिया। नाउ कमिंग टू द नेक्स्ट न्यूज आर्टिकल, again very basic, very direct news article. Directly the question can come from this. So SEBI having considered the application for grant of renewal of recognition by Multi Commodity Exchange Clearing Corporation Limited. So basically the applicant, so Multi Commodity Exchange Clearing Corporation Limited, it sent a application to the SEBI. So SEBI has considered the application for grant of renewal of recognition, that the entity is saying that we want to renew our recognition as a clearing corporation. Okay, so the SEBI has considered this application, and the SEBI has been satisfied that it would be in the interest of the trade, in the interest of the securities market, and in the interest of the investors. So hereby the SEBI is granting the renewal of recognition to the said clearing corporation, that is Multi Commodity Exchange Clearing Corporation Limited, for a time period of 3 years. Okay, so this entity has got the renewal of recognition for a time period of only 3 years, for a time period of 3 years, commencing on 31st day of July 2025 and ending on 30th day of July 2028. So here the time period is important, that for 3 years the renewal of recognition, or for the 3 years the recognition has been provided to the entity to work as a clearing corporation. Okay, so basically what is the clearing corporation? So through the stock broker, through the stock exchanges, you are initiating the trade. You are initiating the trade. I want to buy 100 shares, I want to buy 50 shares, or I want to buy this instrument, okay, this security. Now this trade is getting settled. Now this trade is getting settled through the clearing corporation. Clearing corporation is the one that is seeing the settlement, that the transaction is being made and the money is being given and the security is being taken. Okay, so settlement is done through the clearing corporation, while the initiation of trade happens through the stock broker. So clearing corporation are very important for the settlement of trade and for the trade to be completed. So here the Multi Commodity Exchange Clearing Corporation has got the recognition for the period of 3 years, commencing on 31st day of July 2025 till 2028, subject to the condition that is specified by the SEBI. So the clearing corporation shall comply with the conditions specified by the SEBI. This is the idea. So basically in Hindi, the SEBI, that is Securities and Exchange Board of India, ने provide कर दिया है recognition इस entity को, MCXCCL, इस entity को provide कर दिया गया है recognition 3 years के लिए, जो कि recognition जो है that means ये entity clearing corporation की तरह अपना काम कंटिन्यू कर सकती है फ्रॉम 31st day of July 2025 till 2028. Okay, this is the idea. Now continuing, I hope the previous one is also clear. Very basic, very direct. Now coming to the last one, that is going to be a little complicated. Okay, here you have to focus on the points. So basically the gross non-performing assets. Non-performing assets are the assets that are not performing. So let's say the bank has given a loan. The bank has given a loan. Now the bank is getting interest on this loan. So this loan is the asset for the bank. This loan is the asset for the bank because the bank is earning the returns on this asset, right? The bank is earning the returns on this. Now what happens that, let's say the borrower has said that I am not able to repay the loan, I am not able to pay the interest payments or the repayment of the loan. So that means this loan has become non-performing asset. This asset is not performing now, the interest is not coming back, the principal is not coming back. So this asset has become non-performing asset. So gross non-performing assets have reduced from financial year 2021 to financial year 2025. So basically the gross non-performing assets have reduced from FY 2021 till FY 2025, there is the decrease in gross non-performing assets. Here we can see that the gross non-performing asset ratio has decreased from 9.11% to 2.58%. Now this is a great decline that we have seen, because 9.11%, it was huge, and now we have come down to 2.58%, not only in the ratio terms, not only in the percentage terms, but in the absolute terms also. You can see that the gross non-performing assets have reduced from 6,16,616 crores to 2,83,650 crores. So there is a huge decline that we have seen in the gross NPAs, in the total value and in the ratio also. So gross non-performing asset of public sector banks, now this is for the public sector banks, this has reduced, this has declined during the last 5 financial years. The NPAs have reduced from 9.11% to 2.58%. Okay. Now the public sector banks still, because of the NPAs, the public sector banks have written off over 12 lakh crore worth of loans since 2015-2016. Even as they saw their gross non-performing asset declining, but still they have to write off so many of the loans, because these loans become non-performing asset. Okay, so this is the basic idea. Now what are the steps? So this is about the objective point of view, that you have to remember that the gross NPAs have reduced from 9.11% to 2.58%. But what are the steps that have been taken by the Reserve Bank of India and the government? So we will discuss that. So comprehensive measures have been taken by the Government of India and the Reserve Bank of India to recover and reduce the NPAs, because reducing the NPAs, that was a very major problem in our country to such a low level. So how the NPAs have been reduced, what actual steps have been taken? So a descriptive question can come on this part of the question, or this part, that what steps have been taken by the government or the RBI in regards to recover and reduce the NPAs, or how healthy the financial system of our country is, the banking system of our country is, inform it in regards to the measures taken by the government and RBI. So any question that comes in regards to the financial system, the health of the financial system, the health of the banking system, you can use these measures that we are going to discuss now. Okay, so this is important from your descriptive point of view. So comprehensive measures have been taken by the government and the RBI to recover and reduce the NPAs. If the NPAs are reducing, that means the asset quality is increasing, the health of the banks and the health of the banking system is improving. Okay, these measures include inter alia the following. First one is that the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code has fundamentally changed the creditor-borrower relationship. Now what happens, that if a company, let's say a borrower is a big corporate, XYZ. Now the borrower has said that I am not able to return my 80 crores of the loans, 80 crore of the loan that I had taken. Now I am not able to return it. Okay, this XYZ company is saying that I am not able to return my loan. Now there are multiple creditors. There are not only one creditor, there are multiple creditors, A, B and C. They are going to the insolvency and bankruptcy process, and they are saying that okay, the borrower is not returning the loan. Now the resolution process will start. This borrower is not able to return the money because of the losses that the borrower is making. So the resolution process will start, that okay, we can change the management system of this company, or we can like take over the whole of the management, or we can take over the company itself. Okay, so resolution process, or we can provide further loan for the company to recover itself if the management is already good. So multiple steps can be taken for the resolution process, and in this resolution process there is a very important measure in which the whole management or the whole company can be taken over in the resolution process. So the borrower is now afraid that if I default, I will not have any control over the company. So what happens, that now Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code have been made more effective, where the changing of the relationship has happened between the creditor and borrower, taking away the control of the defaulting company. If the borrower is defaulting, if the company is defaulting, the whole control can be taken away from the defaulting company, from the promoters or owners. So this is a very strong measure, this is a very stringent measure, where the borrowers are now afraid to default, because they know that their whole company will go away from their hands. Okay, as well as debarring willful defaulters from the resolution process. If there is a willful defaulter means that the person, the borrower, has the means to return the money, but still the person or the entity is not returning the money. So the person becomes, or the entity becomes, a willful defaulter. That means, let's say there is a company ABC. Now this company is getting the profits or is getting the money, but still the company is saying that okay, I don't have money, I will not be able to return the loans that I have taken. So this company becomes the willful defaulter. In case of willful defaulter, there will be no resolution process. Directly whatever assets are the collateral, they will be sold off or they will be auctioned. So this is the idea that for the willful defaulters, they are debarred from the resolution process. It is said that they will not get further loans. It is said that they will not get any help for the management and such, because they are the willful defaulters. So directly they are debarred from the resolution process. To make the process more stringent, the personal guarantor, if there is any personal guarantor to corporate debtor, they also come under the ambit of the IBC, the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code. So you can understand that this is the idea. Okay, so willful defaulters keep on increasing. You will have to check it. Right now I don't remember the exact number, but they keep on increasing. Okay, or the number keeps on changing. It is not very important from this point of view. Now the securitization and reconstruction of financial asset and Enforcement of Security Interest Act 2002 and the Recovery of Debt and Bankruptcy Act 1993, they have been amended to make it more effective. So basically these acts are very important acts, because the first act, it is about the security. That means if a bank has taken the collateral, so the bank can use the collateral for recovering the money. Okay, the second one is Recovery of Debt and Bankruptcy Act. So this is also very important for the recovery. So these acts have been made more effective. Next is, this is again very important point, that the DRTs, that is the debt recovery tribunals, it has been said that their jurisdiction has been increased, their monetary jurisdiction has been increased from 10 lakh to 20 lakh. That means if you see the news article of 2018, it was said that as a result, any bank or financial institution or a consortium of banks or financial institutions, they cannot approach the debt recovery tribunals if the amount due is less than 20 lakhs. That means debt recovery tribunals, they were made to work for the bigger loans. Okay, so this debt recovery tribunals, their jurisdiction was increased from 10 lakh and above loans to 20 lakh and above loans, so that they focus on the larger loans and they focus on the high value cases, resulting in higher recovery for the banks and financial institutions. Okay, so basically the first point was regarding that IBC is very strong and it debars recovery resolution, or it debars the resolution process for the willful defaulters, and it provides that if a default is happening, so the control can be taken away from the promoters and the owners, and their management can be changed and such. Okay, so IBC is very strong now. Stringent measures are provided. Next is that the different acts have been made more effective, and for the debt recovery tribunals, their jurisdiction has been increased from 10 lakh and above to 20 lakh and above, so that they focus on the high value cases, so that higher recovery can happen for the banks and financial institutions. Okay, coming to the next point, that is PSBs, that is public sector banks. They have set up specialized stressed asset management verticals. So that means that public sector banks have dedicated segments, they have dedicated branches, or they have dedicated segments, so that they can focus on the stressed assets. They can focus on the stressed assets for effective monitoring and focused follow-up of the NPA accounts, and they can facilitate quicker and improved resolution or recovery. So in the public sector banks, there are separate dedicated verticals for the stressed assets to monitor the stressed assets and to recover the stressed assets. There is deployment of business correspondents, that is the external arms of the banks. So deployment of business correspondents and adoption of feet on street, that is basically field agents. They are hired that have boosted the recovery trajectory of the NPA in the banks. So the field agents are helping the banks to recover more of its money. Prudential framework, the prudent framework for resolution of stressed assets was issued by RBI to provide a framework for early recognition, reporting and time-bound resolution of the stressed asset, so that early recognition can happen, and when the account, that is a stressed account, is recognized early, steps can be taken to reach out to the borrower and help out the borrower to repay the loans. Okay, in an early manner. Next is, in order to maintain transparency for properties valued at rupees 50 crore or above, banks have to obtain minimum 2 independent valuation reports. So the valuation is correct, because this is a big asset that we are talking about, and this is a big collateral that we are talking about. So at least minimum of 2 independent valuation reports have to be taken, because sometimes the valuation can be cheated also. Okay, so here you can see that if in regards to IRAC norms, that is As per RBI Master Circular on Income Recognition, Asset Classification and Provisioning Norms dated July 2015, it was said that collateral such as immovable properties charged in favor of the bank should be valued once in 3 years by empaneled valuers. That means that immovable property, that is the land or the house or the real estate, if they are kept as the collateral, they have to be valued once in 3 years so that the valuation can be changed according to the current scenario. Now the next guidelines is in regards to Joint Lenders Forum guidelines issued by RBI in 2014. So it empowered the banks to seek explanation from the valuers that why you have given the wrong valuation, because you had given the valuation of the asset to be 100 crores, but the asset right now is only 50 crores, it is only 60 crores. So why have you given the wrong valuation? So explanation from valuers can be sought that who overstate the security value, the collateral value, that were like maybe the valuer was entangled with the company, maybe the valuer was in was with the company itself that has taken the borrowing. So why you have given the higher value? Give us the reason. Okay. So and henceforth report their names to the Indian Banks Association so that it can be seen that which valuers have actually cheated and they were in cahoots with the borrowers that have defaulted. Okay. So this is the basic idea. Any confusion in this? Any confusion here? Okay, last point is that RBI wide its guidelines on sale of stressed assets by banks. That means if the sale of property is happening, so that should happen through the e-auction. So e-auction, electronic auction is desirable mode in sale of properties so that there can be more purchasers that can join. This is the idea, okay? And price discovery can be better. Any confusion? नहीं, मुझे हिंदी आती है लेकिन मैनी ऑफ माई स्टूडेंट्स उनको हिंदी नहीं आती, तो हम जो है थोड़ा क्लासेस इंग्लिश में ज़्यादा रखते हैं और एग्जामिनेशन में इंग्लिश डिस्क्रिप्टिव है, इंग्लिश का पार्ट है, तो आपको भी इंग्लिश करना ही है, राइट? तो ऐसा नहीं है कि इंग्लिश नहीं आती, पर इफ देयर इज एनी कंफ्यूजन इन अ पर्टिकुलर पॉइंट दैट यू कैन आस्क. ओके, so basically let me summarize this in Hindi for the students. So gross non-performing asset reduce हुए हैं 9.11% से 2.58% in the last 5 financial year. उसके बाद हमने डिफरेंट स्टेप्स पढ़े कि जैसे इंसॉल्वेंसी एंड बैंक्रप्सी कोड का जो प्रोसेस है वो ज़्यादा स्ट्रिंजेंट है, जिसकी वजह से जो डिफ़ॉल्ट बोरोवर्स हैं, जो डिफ़ॉल्ट कर रहे हैं, उनसे कंपनी का टेक ओवर हो सकता है या कंपनी पूरा का पूरा रिजोल्यूशन प्रोसेस के अंडर कंपनी को टेक ओवर किया जा सकता है. तो बोरोवर्स आर अफ्रेड, दे आर अफ्रेड दैट इफ दे डिफॉल्ट, अगर वो डिफॉल्ट करते हैं तो उनकी कंपनी जो है उनके हाथ से चली जाएगी. अगर विलफॉल डिफॉल्टर है दैट मीन्स कि उसके पास पैसा है लेकिन जानबूझकर नहीं पैसा दिया जा रहा, वापस नहीं दे रहे वो, तो इन केस विलफुल डिफॉल्टर्स आर देयर, रेजोल्यूशन प्रोसेस नहीं होगा, डायरेक्टली उनका कोलेटरल भेज दिया जाएगा, ठीक है, और उनको एक लिस्ट में डाल दिया जाएगा विलफुल डिफॉल्टर्स की कि इनको आगे से पैसा नहीं देना है. नेक्स्ट प्रोसेस वाज रिगार्डिंग कि डिफरेंट एक्ट्स हैं, इनको स्ट्रॉन्ग किया गया है. साथ में डेट रिकवरी ट्रिब्यूनल्स का जो मिनिमम बेंचमार्क है उसको इंक्रीज कर 10 लाख से 20 लाख कर दिया ताकि बड़े लोन्स पर ज़्यादा फोकस किया जा सके. ओके, नेक्स्ट इज इन रिगार्ड्स टू मैनेजमेंट वर्टिकल्स. तो पब्लिक सेक्टर बैंक्स में अलग से वर्टिकल्स, अलग से ब्रांचेस बनाए गए हैं जो कि स्ट्रेस्ड एसेट पर फोकस करते हैं और उनको रिकवर करने की कोशिश करते हैं, ठीक है. और फील्ड एजेंट्स भी हैं जिनको घर घर भेजा जाता है या कंपनीज भेजा जाता है ताकि वो पैसा वापस रिकवर कर सके. फिर प्रूडेंशियल फ्रेमवर्क फॉर रेजोल्यूशन ऑफ स्ट्रेस्ड एसेट की अर्ली रिकॉग्निशन हो सके, कौन से अकाउंट स्ट्रेस में हैं उनको कैसे हम रिजॉल्व कर सकते हैं, उनसे कैसे हम पैसा रिकवर कर सकते हैं, वो सब देखा जाता है, ठीक है, इस प्रोसेस के अंदर. फिर प्रॉपर्टीज को, अगर प्रॉपर्टीज 50 करोड़ से ऊपर वैल्यूएशन है उसकी, तो 2 अलग अलग इंडिपेंडेंट वैल्यूएटर से उसको वैल्यू करवाया जाता है ताकि करेक्ट वैल्यूएशन पता चले, क्योंकि काफ़ी सारे वैल्यूअर्स गलत वैल्यूएशन भी देते हैं, जिनको अगर वो गलत वैल्यूएशन दे रहे हैं और बाद में बैंक को पता चलता है तो बैंक उनको इंडियन बैंक एसोसिएशन पर रिपोर्ट कर सकती है. और साथ में इनमूवेबल प्रॉपर्टीज चार्ज इन फेवर ऑफ द बैंक शुड बी वैल्यूड वंस एवरी 3 years. दैट मीन्स कि लैंड प्रॉपर्टी इन सबको 3 years में वैल्यू करवाते रहो. नेक्स्ट एंड द लास्ट पॉइंट वाज ई ऑक्शन. इलेक्ट्रॉनिक ऑक्शन जो है डिजायरेबल है, वो होना चाहिए ताकि इलेक्ट्रॉनिकली ट्रांसपेरेंट तरीके से प्रॉपर्टीज को बेचा जा सके. आई होप दिस इज क्लियर. नाउ दिस इज द फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन. I can understand that we have our many of us, we are more comfortable in Hindi, but the problem is that the examination will happen in English. Many of the students do not understand complete Hindi, तो उनके लिए बहुत problem होता है. They do not have other sources to rely on, so that's why we take the sessions in English, so that they can rely on at least on one source, that is these videos, to understand. As well as the examination will be in English, so you have to become accustomed to many of the terms, many of the words. So the more you hear financial terms in English, the more you will get it into your mind. Okay, so this is the first question. Try to answer this question. I hope you will be easily able to answer this question. So consider the following statements regarding SEBI's new compliance initiative, Samuhik Prativedan Manch, and try to answer that which of the following statement is correct. So I hope this is clear. Now, there is a perspective 360-degree series that happens on Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 5 p.m. Okay, so Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 5 p.m. where you get the descriptive questions that from the current topics, from the current affairs, the descriptive questions that from a particular topic, which descriptive question can come, and you also get to do the answer writing practice with Jaskaran sir. So Jaskaran sir gives you the point that what you can write in intro, conclusion and the body and such. So you do the answer writing practice in the session itself, as well as homework question is given that is evaluated in the comment section if you answer within 48 hours. Okay, so this is the Perspective 360-degree series. That is a very important series for your descriptive answer writing. Now try to answer the second question, and this is the last and the third question. So I hope you enjoyed the session. If there is any confusion, you can write in the comment section below. So do write it in the comment section below if you have any confusion, and do give the right answer of the homework questions. Okay, the last question is regarding the NPA percentage. So this is it for today. Thank you everyone. Thank you for joining. Okay.